YouTube video out of that one.
Nice, that's a solid niche. How to learn content for students tends to do really well since it's evergreen and everyone's searching for study tips. Are you thinking more like learning techniques, memory tricks, study habits, or a mix of all that across the playlist?
I'm thinking of mix of all in the yeah. I'm thinking a mix of all.
Okay, love that whole toolkit approach. So picture a playlist that opens with something like the science of how memory actually works, then moves into practical stuff, spaced repetition, active recall, the Pomodoro technique for focus, then maybe note taking systems like Cornell Notes or mind mapping, and rounds out with mindset stuff, dealing with procrastination, exam anxiety, staying motivated long term. Want me to help sketch out actual video titles and an order for the playlist? Or are you still just kicking the idea around?
For now, I'm kicking the idea around, but yeah, you gave me idea from your suggestion. So shall we start with mindset first, like growth mindset, and what's another one? Growth and is it what's opposite of growth? I hope you can give me that topic first, so that children have what should I say? They at least know that they can learn, and if they put their effort, they are going to learn from that one, right?
Exactly, that's a smart way to open the playlist actually. Mindset before methods, because if a kid doesn't believe they can improve, the study techniques won't stick anyway. The opposite of growth mindset is called fixed mindset. That's the term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. Fixed mindset is basically believing your intelligence and abilities are just fixed traits. You're either smart or you're not, so why bother trying hard? So your first video could literally be framed as growth mindset versus fixed mindset, showing kids the difference and proving that effort actually rewires how their brain learns. Want to build out a rough script or outline for that first one?
Okay, please lock in that this will be growth mindset versus fixed mindset. It is the first topic number one for the playlist. Okay.
Got it, locked in. Video number one is growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Want me to save this as a reminder or note so we can keep building the playlist from here? Or do you want to keep brainstorming out loud first?
Please save this one because I may come in future. If I ask for like number one topic for the playlist, you have to give me that topic. Is it okay with you?
Done, saved it. So anytime you ask me for topic number one for the playlist, I'll pull up growth mindset versus fixed mindset for you.
Okay, now what could be the topic number two? Can you give me a suggestion? Maybe like why you can give. Maybe we can talk about the problems students face during the learning. How do you think about that one?
Ooh, I like that direction. Topic two could be something like why learning feels hard, common struggles students face, and how to push through them. So you'd cover things like forgetting what you just studied, feeling overwhelmed by too much material, procrastination kicking in, or just hitting that wall where nothing seems to sink in. It's a nice bridge too, because after growth mindset tells kids you can improve, this one says, here's why it feels hard right now, and that's normal. Want me to lock this in as topic number two?
Ah, hmm. From your suggestion, I thought like wait for a while. Okay, let me go through your suggestion. Okay, from your suggestion, I have like why children feel overwhelmed by too much materials, right? I think we can work on that one as topic too, and we can give techniques how to do away with that one. How we can work on that one, right, and make it easier for learner to learn faster.
That's a great angle. Feeling overwhelmed by too much material is such a universal struggle, and pairing it with actual techniques to break it down makes it really actionable rather than just naming the problem. So, topic two would be something like why students feel overwhelmed by too much material and how to break it down so learning feels manageable. Shall I lock this one in as number two?
Hmm. I loved you putting that one, but I would rather say let's not put too much matter. Let's rather say why students feel overwhelmed while learning a particular skills and how they can what should I say how they can break down how they can break it down into easier things.
Ah, yes, that's cleaner and more universal. Works for any skill, not just heavy material. So, topic two is why students feel overwhelmed while learning a particular skill and how to break it down into smaller, easier steps. Want me to lock that in and save it to the same list?
Hmm. This same topic, I had another suggestion. That would be like no, I forgot anyway. Let me read you a suggestion, okay?
Sure, go ahead, I'm listening.
Wait, let me go through yours. Overwhelmed line.
Take your time, no rush.
Okay, do you have in this same topic, similar topic? Can you give me a suggestion? I want to like content to be similar only, but how to approach this one? It should be one that can work well with our playlist.
Ah, I see what you mean. So keep the same core idea, breaking down overwhelming skills, but find the phrasing or angle that flows best with the playlist tone. How about something like feeling stuck learning a new skill? Here's how to break it into small wins. It keeps that encouraging growth mindset energy from video one, since it's about progress and small wins rather than just naming the problem. Does that angle feel right, or were you picturing something a bit more direct and instructional, like a step by step breakdown title?
Hmm. For now, let's keep this one your suggestion. Lock that as a number two, and make the topic catchy for YouTube playlist. Okay. Now let's discuss about the topic three. Do you have any suggestion?
Right, so after mindset and breaking down overwhelm, topic three could naturally move into an actual learning technique, something like active recall. Basically, testing yourself instead of just rereading notes, since it's proven to help information actually stick. You could frame it catchy, like stop rereading your notes, do this instead, and then explain active recall in a simple, practical way. Want to run with that, or were you thinking of a different direction for number three?
Do you have another suggestion?
Sure, how about this one instead? Something on the Pomodoro technique. Like, why studying for hours doesn't work, try this instead. Where you teach kids to study in short, focused bursts, 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, rather than grinding for hours and burning out. It's catchy, practical, and pairs nicely with the small wins theme from video 2. Does that direction feel better?
Okay, that's cool, but shall we work on my habit? Like, we as a students have a bad habit of procrastination. So, how about working how to do away with procrastination? Then, our sometimes we really don't have a motivation to learn, right? How to cope up with that situations and all.
Ah, yes, those are both so real and so needed. Procrastination and lack of motivation hit basically every student at some point. So we could shape those into topic three and four then. Something like why you keep procrastinating and how to actually stop, for one, and what to do when you have zero motivation to study, for the other. Want me to slot those in as three and four and push the Pomodoro idea a bit later in the playlist?
Yes, let's push the Pomodoro techniques later, but can we combine that motivation and procrastination together?
That works nicely, actually. They're pretty tangled together anyway. Low motivation often fuels procrastination. So, topic three could be something like why you procrastinate and have zero motivation and how to fix both. Want me to lock that in as topic three and save it?
Yes, let's lock that one as the topic three. Okay, we are done with that one. Topic three. Now, topic four. Hmm. According to we had three topics, right? Following that three topics, do you have similar topic for number four? Give me a suggestion. I doesn't mean similar, but which will go with the flow with our. previous three topics.
Right, so after mindset, breaking down overwhelm, and fixing motivation and procrastination, the natural next step is giving them an actual method to study smarter, since their head and heart are ready by now. I'd suggest active recall for topic 4, something catchy like stop rereading your notes, this trick works way better, where you teach them to quiz themselves instead of passively reading, since it's one of the most powerful and simple techniques out there. Want to lock that in as number 4?
Hmm. If it is like that, shall we give a introduction to types of techniques first?
Oh, that's smart actually, giving a quick overview of the different study techniques out there before diving deep into each one, kind of like a roadmap for the rest of the playlist. So, topic 4 could be something like the top study techniques that actually work, a quick guide where you briefly introduce active recall, spaced repetition, the Pomodoro technique, and note taking methods. Then each one gets its own deep dive video later in the playlist. Shall I lock that in as number 4?
Claude, I want you to give me your honest answer. Okay, I don't want you to agree with whatever I'm saying. Assume that you are an expert in this YouTube topic and you are a teacher. So I want you to make sure that topic I'm giving are relevant and it will work better. If not, you can give me your suggestion.
Good, I appreciate you saying that honestly, and let me actually think like a teacher here rather than just agreeing. So, my honest take, the overview video, top study techniques that actually work, is a decent idea. But as topic 4, right after the motivation and procrastination video, it's a bit of a lateral move rather than forward progress. You've just told the student, here's how to want to study. And now, instead of giving them one concrete tool to actually use, you're giving them a menu of tools without depth. That can feel a little anticlimactic after an emotional topic like motivation. My honest suggestion, go straight into active recall as topic 4, since it's the single highest impact technique and gives them something to actually do tomorrow. Save the overview roundup video for later in the playlist, maybe as a recap or summary video near the end, where it actually works better tying everything together after they've learned each technique individually. Does that reasoning land for you, or you want to push back?
I kind of like it. Shall we keep that as a backup topic for number 4?
That works well, honestly. Keep it as a backup or a later recap video. And let's go with active recall as the real topic 4, since it keeps the momentum going. Want me to lock that in and save both active recall as 4 and the overview as a backup for later?
Okay, for now, lock the active recall as number 4. No need to keep a backup. Okay, now we have a number 4. What are you thinking for number 5, Plot?
Honestly, my pick for number 5 would be spaced repetition. Since it pairs so naturally with active recall, they're basically the two most research backed techniques and often taught together. It's about reviewing material at increasing intervals over time instead of cramming it all at once. So the knowledge actually sticks long term rather than leaking out after the test. Something catchy like why cramming fails and the technique that actually makes memory stick. Want to lock that in as 5?
I'm not sure about that one, but you can keep that as number 5 for now.
Fair enough, I'll lock it in loosely as number 5. And if you have second thoughts later, we can always swap it out. Alright, saved as tentative number 5. We've got a solid 5 topic lineup now. Want to keep going to number 6 or take a break and come back to this later?
Let's discuss as a whole, okay, Claude? I was thinking like we have been working on techniques and all, right? But shall we hmm, talk about types of learning, right? What do you say? Is there such thing as a type of learning? What I mean is like you did mention about active recall, right? Memorize it. Then, is there any different types of learning other than memorization? Like they call it skill learning and all. What do you say?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually, and honestly, a smart thing to add because we've been assuming all learning is the same, but it really isn't. So, broadly, yes, there are different types. There's declarative learning, which is knowledge, facts, dates, vocabulary, things you'd recall, like memorizing history or science terms. Then there's procedural learning, which is skill based, like learning to ride a bike, play an instrument, or code, where you learn by doing and repeating rather than memorizing facts. There's also conceptual understanding, actually grasping why something works, like understanding math concepts versus just memorizing formulas. This could honestly be a great topic somewhere in your playlist, something like you're studying wrong for the subject you're learning. Here's why, explaining that memorization techniques work great for facts, but skills need practice and repetition instead, and concepts need deeper understanding, not just recall. Want me to slot this in somewhere maybe as topic 6?
Um, what do you think? Will it be best fitted for topic 4 or topic 6?
Honestly, I'd say topic 6, not 4. Here's my reasoning as your resident skeptical teacher. Active recall at 4 works because it's the natural next step after fixing motivation. It's simple, actionable. Here's one powerful trick. Go use it tomorrow. But types of learning is a bigger, more foundational concept. It's less a tactic and more a lens that helps them understand when to use active recall, spaced repetition, or something else entirely. So, structurally, it makes more sense after they've already got active recall and spaced repetition under their belt. That's when, wait, but which technique for which situation becomes the natural question. Slotting it at 6 lets it tie those two tactics together and set up whatever comes next.
Okay. Why don't you check in slot number 1, 2, 3? Will it fit somewhere in middle?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't put it in the early slots. Topics 1 through 3 are all about mindset and emotional readiness, believing you can learn, not feeling overwhelmed, beating procrastination. And types of learning is a much more analytical, almost academic concept that would feel jarring dropped into that emotional arc. It works better once they're already in tactical mode with real techniques under their belt, so I'd stick with topic 6.
Okay, thank you. Then how about this one? We put this topic disperse in in the methods of learning.
I follow you. So rather than a totally separate video, weave types of learning as context inside the method videos themselves, like mentioning in the active recall video that it's great for declarative facts, and in a future skills based video, mentioning procedural learning fits there. Honestly, that could work too, though my slight worry is it might get lost as just a passing mention rather than something that actually clicks for the viewer. Do you want it as its own dedicated video for clarity, or sprinkled in as supporting context across the method videos?
Okay, then shall we do it like this? We will sprinkle in method videos as well, and we will make a different videos for the types of learning.
That's honestly the best of both worlds. Sprinkle it as context in the method videos so it feels connected, and still give it its own dedicated video, likely topic 6, so it really sinks in on its own. Shall I save that plan? Saved. 6 solid topics locked in now with a good arc, mindset, overcoming overwhelm, motivation, active recall, spaced repetition, and types of learning. Want to keep building towards 7 or take a breather here?
Let's go to that. Okay,
All right, topic 7 then. Honestly, the natural next step in this flow would be note taking systems, since it complements everything before it. Methods like Cornell Notes or mind mapping give students a concrete way to actually capture and organize what they're learning while applying active recall and spaced repetition. Something like how to take notes that actually help you remember, not just fill pages. Want to lock that in as 7?
Yes, dear. But
Sorry, did you mean to say something there, or was that just a hiccup on the line?
there was hiccup on the line. Other methods for learning. Can we add that for a playlist?
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of room left. Beyond what we've covered, you could add things like the Feynman technique, basically explaining a concept in the simplest possible terms, as if teaching it to a child, which is fantastic for exposing gaps in your own understanding. There's also
Mm.
interleaving, mixing up different subjects or problem types during study sessions rather than doing one thing for hours, which actually helps your brain make connections better. And there's the method of Loci, or memory palace technique, useful for memorizing lists or sequences by attaching them to a mental journey through a familiar place. Want me to add any of these to the list as upcoming topics?
There are loads of lists, right? That means first, shall we go with Feynman techniques because I loved like making simplest possible terms. Like you can give idea to a learner as if they learn as if you're going to teach somebody else rather than learning as a student. Or maybe we'll teach somebody else what you have learned. What do you say?
I love that. Honestly, the Feynman technique is one of my favorite study tools too, because it flips learning on its head. Instead of just absorbing information, you're forced to actually process and simplify it enough to teach someone else. And that's when the real gaps show up. So this could be topic 8, something like learn like you're about to teach it, the trick that exposes what you don't actually know. Want me to lock that in? Locked in 8 solid topics now saved to your list. Want to keep pushing toward 9 and 10 or take stock of what we've got so far?
Give me a stock first.
All right, here's the full lineup so far. Topic 1, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. That's your opener. Topic 2, feeling stuck learning a new skill and how to break it into small wins. Topic 3, why you procrastinate and have zero motivation and how to fix both. Then we move into tactics. Topic 4, active recall. Stop rereading your notes. This trick works better. Topic 5, tentative spaced repetition. Why cramming fails. Topic 6, types of learning. Declarative, procedural, and conceptual. Basically studying differently, depending on what you're learning. Topic 7, note-taking systems like Cornell Notes and mind mapping. And topic 8, the Feynman technique, learning something well enough to teach it to someone else. Still sitting in the backlog as future ideas, we've got the Pomodoro technique, exam anxiety, interleaving, and the memory palace method. That's a really strong arc, mindset, emotional readiness, then a toolbox of concrete techniques. How does that feel hearing it all together?
Uh, yeah, I feel overwhelmed now. Rather than teaching, I would be a listener who is having a problem.
That's actually a really important thing to notice. And honestly, kind of ironic, given topic 2 is literally about not overwhelming learners. So maybe the real lesson here is pacing. Don't dump all 8 techniques on viewers back to back. Give them breathing room, maybe a recap, or try this one thing this week, call to action at the end of each video, so it doesn't feel like a fire hose. Does that match what you're feeling, or is it more that the topics themselves felt like too much to take in right now?
No, you gave a bunch of topics, like you have given a backlog for future ideas, right? So I'm joking anyway. Oh, what does interleaving means?
Fair, no worries at all. So interleaving basically means mixing up different subjects or types of problems within a single study session instead of drilling one thing for hours straight. So say, instead of doing 30 math problems all of the same type in a row, you'd mix in a few different problem types, or even switch between math and, say, chemistry back and forth. It feels less efficient in the moment, but research shows your brain actually gets better at telling different concepts apart and figuring out which method to use when. So it sticks better long term.
You had a Pomodoro technique, right?
Yep, that's the one. Study for 25 minutes fully focused, then take a 5-minute break, repeat. It's meant to fight burnout and keep focus sharp instead of grinding for hours straight and losing steam halfway through.
25 minutes. Can we adjust minutes in our own terms? Like, can a student, rather than making 24 hours, can students do like 5 minutes in starting, 5 minutes break? Then, if he can do in 5 minutes, then he may increase time to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really smart adaptation. Honestly, probably better for students who are just starting out or who struggle with focus. Standard Pomodoro assumes 25 minutes is already manageable, but if someone can barely focus for 5 minutes without getting distracted, Jumping straight to 25 just sets them up to fail and feel bad about it. So, a progressive approach: start at 5 minutes, build confidence, then stretch to 10, then 15, working your way up to that 25-minute sweet spot. That's honestly a great way to make the technique accessible to kids who find focusing really hard. That could even be its own spin on the topic, something like "can't focus for even 5 minutes, start here" as a beginner friendly Pomodoro variant. Want me to note that as part of the Pomodoro topic?
Yes, I think that would be better. Now, here is another idea I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, why don't we talk about certain topics students can learn? You have mentioned about interleaving, right? But I was thinking about in other way, like for particular time period, for example, even in the Pomodoro technique, children may learn for one topic, then take a break, just like a Pomodoro technique. But children can learn one topic, read one meaningful topic, then finish it, take a break, have active recall, then come back, read it. What do you say about that one?
I think I see what you're getting at. So rather than jumping between subjects like interleaving does, you're picturing something more like: pick one meaningful chunk or topic, read and study it fully, actively recall it right after to lock it in, then move to the next chunk, all within those focused Pomodoro style bursts. That's actually a really solid workflow. It's kind of combining active recall and Pomodoro together into a specific routine rather than treating them as separate techniques. Read a chunk, quiz yourself immediately, take a break, repeat with the next chunk. Were you thinking this could be its own video, showing that combined routine almost like a "here's exactly how to structure your study session" tutorial?
Yes, I'm thinking something like that. But give me your expert opinion.
Honestly, I really like it, and here's why. As your resident skeptic slash teacher, this actually solves a real problem. Students often learn techniques in isolation, active recall here, Pomodoro there, but nobody shows them how to actually combine them into one seamless study session. That gap between knowing techniques and knowing how to execute them together is huge, and a lot of students fall through it. So, my honest suggestion: make this a later video, something like a capstone or blueprint video. Here's exactly how to structure one perfect study session, where you literally walk through, pick one topic, set a timer, read and absorb it, stop, close the book, actively recall what you just learned, check yourself, then take your break before moving to the next chunk. It ties everything together practically, which is honestly more valuable to a lot of viewers than any single technique alone. Want me to save this as a topic, maybe positioned near the end of the playlist as a synthesis video?
Yes, Claude. Okay, Claude, now. Okay, Claude. Now here is my suggestion. Here I am thinking of in a different way. I want children, learners to consciously learn as little as they can, no more than one piece at a time. What do you say? For example, for example, some learners they read a book in one sitting. Rather than that, they have to consciously read only one topic, and they have to take a break by any means within that topic. What do you say about that one?
That got saved properly now. And honestly, what you're describing has a name already. It's called chunking, breaking material into small, deliberate pieces, rather than consuming a whole chapter or book in one sitting. The reasoning is solid too. Our working memory can only hold so much at once. So, someone who reads an entire book in one sitting is often just recognizing words, not actually retaining them. Forcing a pause after just one topic or concept gives your brain time to actually process and file that piece away before the next one arrives. This could honestly merge really well with that capstone video we just talked about, since chunking is basically the missing ingredient that makes the read, recall, break routine actually work. Want me to fold chunking into that synthesis topic, or give it its own spot?
You can do both. Give chunking its own spot, and you can aid in this synthesis as well.
Done. Chunking is now topic 9 with its own spot, plus folded into that capstone routine. You've got a really robust 9 topic playlist now. Want to keep going or call it here for today?
Give me a stop first.
Sure, here's where we stand. Topic 1: growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Topic 2: feeling stuck learning a new skill, breaking it into small wins. Topic 3, why you procrastinate and have zero motivation, and how to fix both. Then into technique territory. Topic 4, active recall. Topic 5, tentative spaced repetition. Topic 6, types of learning. Declarative, procedural, conceptual. Topic 7, note-taking systems like Cornell notes. Topic 8, the Feynman technique, learning well enough to teach it. And topic 9, chunking, learning in small deliberate pieces with breaks built in. Sitting in the backlog, we've still got the Pomodoro technique, exam anxiety, interleaving, and the memory palace method, plus that capstone video near the end that ties active recall, Pomodoro, and chunking together into one full study session blueprint. That's a genuinely strong, complete feeling playlist already, honestly.
What can we do in exam anxiety topic?
Good question. Honestly, this one needs a delicate touch since it's more emotional than tactical. I'd focus on a few things. First, normalizing it, letting students know almost everyone feels some anxiety before exams. It's not a personal failing, it's just the brain's stress response kicking in. Then practical tools, breathing techniques to calm the nervous system in the moment, reframing anxious thoughts like turning "I'm going to fail" into "I've prepared and I know this material." And preparation as prevention, showing how anxiety often spikes when someone feels underprepared. So, tying back to earlier videos, active recall and spaced repetition genuinely reduce exam anxiety because you walk in actually knowing you know the material. You could even end with something practical like a pre exam routine, sleep well, avoid last minute cramming, do a light review rather than panic studying the night before. Want me to lock this in as an actual numbered topic now instead of just backlog?
Yes, please. Log this as a topic. Okay, now what do we have in
Locked
our
in as
backlog?
Right now, the backlog has 3 things left, plus that capstone video. There's the Pomodoro technique, the beginner-friendly progressive version, starting at 5 minutes and building up. There's interleaving, mixing different subjects or problem types within a study session. And there's the method of LOCI, or memory palace technique, for memorizing lists and sequences using a mental journey through a familiar place. Plus, sitting separately, that capstone synthesis video near the end, combining active recall, Pomodoro, and chunking into one full study session walkthrough. Want to turn any of those backlog items into official numbered topics now?
Yes, I'm thinking of. Can you explain me what loss is?
Sure. So the method of Loki, sometimes called a memory palace, is a memorization technique where you imagine a familiar place like your house and mentally place items you want to remember at specific spots along a route through it. So say you need to remember a list, the first item you might imagine sitting on your front doorstep, the next one hanging in your hallway, the next one on your kitchen table, and so on. Then to recall the list, you just mentally walk through your house again,
Okay, thank
and
you. I
each
got the idea. Hmm. Yeah, you can log that as one topic. And okay, Claude, I'm not a big fan of interleaving, so I won't be adding that as a topic. So let's add Pomodoro as one topic. So now, what do we have? I mean, in our stock.
You've now got 12 solid topics locked in, plus that capstone synthesis video near the end, and the overview recap in the backlog. Quick refresher on the shape of it. It opens with mindset and emotional readiness, growth mindset, breaking down overwhelm, procrastination, and motivation. Then it moves into concrete techniques, active recall, spaced repetition, types of learning, note taking, the Feynman technique, chunking, exam anxiety, memory palace, and Pomodoro. That's a genuinely complete, well rounded playlist. Honestly, you could start filming already.
Okay, we'll be locking that 12 topics for now, and I may come back in future. For now, that's it. We'll discuss further in the future. Is it okay, Claude?
Of course, that's perfectly okay. Everything's saved, so whenever you're ready to pick this back up, just ask and I'll have the whole lineup ready to go.
Okay, thank you for now.